Your room and home environment is silently revealing something you've been trying to hide. Each time you look at that growing pile of clutter, you may feel a wave of shame. But what if that mess isn't just about being disorganized? There's a hidden connection between your space and your mental state that most people never realize until it's too late. In this video, we'll uncover the surprising psychological reasons behind your cluttered space and how understanding them can be your first step toward healing. Plus, we'll reveal one shocking truth that completely challenges the clean home, clear mind myth you've been made to believe. Signal number 1. Why do you avoid that one room? You know that feeling when you walk past a certain room in your house and your eyes just automatically look away. There's something deeper going on there than just not wanting to deal with the mess. Every morning, you rush past that space, pretending it doesn't exist. Maybe it's your bedroom with clothes piled high on that one chair, or that spare room where everything without a home seems to end up. Researchers at UCLA found that people's stress hormones spike significantly when they're in cluttered spaces. But here's what's fascinating. This response isn't just about the mess itself. The same study revealed that different areas of our homes trigger different emotional responses, and some spaces become what psychologists call emotional hotspots. Think of your living space like an emotional map. Just as a city has neighborhoods that make you feel safe or unsafe, your home has zones that either energize or drain you. The areas you avoid are like emotional sinkholes, growing deeper with each passing day. Take the character Nina from Black Swan. Her perfectly organized bedroom contained one chaotic corner that represented all her suppressed emotions. When's the last time you really thought about why that specific room or area makes you feel so uncomfortable? The room you're avoiding isn't just cluttered with stuff, it's become your emotional dumping ground. This is what psychologists call spatial avoidance, and it's often a sign that you're carrying unprocessed emotional weight. To break this pattern, start by spending just 5 minutes in that space without trying to fix anything. Simply sit there and notice how it makes you feel. Then, choose one small item to either put away or let go of. The key is to reconnect with the space before attempting to organize it. Remember, that room isn't just storing your stuff, it's storing your stories. Signal number 2. What's behind your cleaning bursts? Speaking of storing emotions, let's talk about something that might feel oddly familiar. Those sudden urges to clean everything at 2 a.m. It usually hits late at night or during moments of intense stress. Suddenly, you're deep cleaning the kitchen, reorganizing your closet, or scrubbing bathroom tiles with unexpected energy. The more overwhelming your thoughts become, the more intensely you feel drawn to organize and clean. Studies in behavioral psychology have revealed an intriguing pattern in how people interact with their environment during times of emotional turmoil. When we feel our internal world spinning out of control, we often seek to control what we can see and touch. It's like a pressure valve releasing steam. Just as a pot of boiling water needs an outlet, our emotional state seeks expression through physical action. Research from the University of Connecticut found that sudden changes in cleaning behavior often coincide with periods of significant life transitions or stress. What drives these unexpected bursts of organizational energy? These cleaning marathons are actually a form of emotional self-regulation called control-seeking behavior. Instead of fighting these urges, use them productively by setting a 30-minute timer when they strike. Focus on one small area that will have the biggest impact on your daily life, like your desk or bedside table. This turns an anxiety response into a genuine reset opportunity. Remember, sometimes cleaning your space is really about clearing your mind. Signal number 3. Why does that pile keep coming back? Now that we understand our cleaning bursts, there's another mystery that needs solving. Those stubborn spots in your home that seem to attract clutter like a magnet. You've cleaned it a dozen times, yet somehow that corner of your living room keeps collecting random items. The kitchen counter that you cleared yesterday is somehow covered again today. No matter how many times you organize these spaces, they refuse to stay tidy. Environmental psychologists have identified what they call clutter clusters, specific areas in our homes that consistently accumulate items despite repeated cleanup efforts. These spots often correlate with unresolved emotional patterns in our lives. Think of water flowing downhill. It always finds the same path unless you change the landscape itself. The same principle applies to our living spaces. In the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, memories kept resurfacing despite attempts to erase them. Like those memories, our clutter patterns tell us something important about our unconscious habits. What's really causing these items to gather in the same spots over and over? These recurring clutter spots are manifestations of interrupted decision patterns, places where your daily routines meet unresolved choices. To break the cycle, don't just clean the area. Instead, spend 10 minutes observing how you use this space throughout the day. Then create a decision station with clear categories for items that land there. Action required: put away, donate, or trash. Make decisions about items immediately rather than letting them accumulate. Remember, the pile isn't the problem. It's a symptom of postponed decisions. Signal number 4. What's with the pristine surface? Let's flip the script and talk about something that might surprise you. When extreme tidiness may not be actually a sign of good mental health. We all know someone whose home looks like it's straight out of a magazine. Everything perfectly placed, surfaces spotless, not a thing out of order. Sometimes that person might even be you, feeling an overwhelming need to maintain absolute control over your environment. Recent psychological research has uncovered that perfectionist cleaning behaviors can sometimes mask deeper emotional struggles. The same way a peaceful lake surface can hide turbulent depths, an impossibly clean home might be concealing internal chaos. Consider how a greenhouse works. While it appears perfectly controlled, too much control can actually prevent healthy growth. Some degree of natural variation is necessary for resilience. When we see someone maintaining an environment that never shows signs of being lived in, what might that tell us about their relationship with control? Extreme orderliness can be a coping mechanism called rigid control response. If you recognize this pattern in yourself, try this. Each day, deliberately leave one small sign of life visible: a book you're reading on the coffee table, a coffee mug in the sink for a few hours, or a jacket draped over a chair. Practice sitting with the mild discomfort this creates. It's about building tolerance for natural imperfection. Remember, a perfectly pristine home might be hiding perfectly valid feelings. But here's one final truth about mess and mental health that most people get completely wrong. As promised, here's the shocking reality that challenges everything you've been told about the clean home, clear mind myth. Signal number 5. When does a clean home lie? You've probably heard it countless times. Clear space, clear mind. Or fix your room, fix your life. Maybe you've even pushed yourself to maintain a spotless home because that's what healthy, successful people do, right? Meanwhile, you're exhausted from maintaining this perfect facade while feeling anything but perfect inside. Think of your living space like an emotional thermometer, but here's the twist. Sometimes the reading it gives isn't what you'd expect. Take the character of Melvin from As Good as It Gets. His obsessively organized apartment and rigid routines weren't signs of mental wellness, but rather his attempt to cope with overwhelming anxiety. Research from the Institute of Trauma Recovery shows that some people respond to internal chaos by creating rigid external order, while others find healing through embracing some degree of natural disorder. What does it mean when your space doesn't match your inner experience? The truth is, there's no right way for your space to look during emotional healing. What matters is whether your environment serves your well-being. The key is to identify your authentic organizing style, not someone else's ideal. Start by asking yourself, does this organization system feel supportive or restrictive? If maintaining order feels like another form of self-punishment, give yourself permission to find your own balance. Create spaces that feel nurturing, even if they don't match the Pinterest perfect ideal. Remember, the healthiest space isn't always the tidiest. It's the one that lets you breathe. What space in your home tells the strongest story about your emotional journey? Share your experience in the comments below. You might help someone else feel less alone in their healing process. If you're interested to learn more about self-discovery, then be sure to watch our video about why motivation fails and what truly drives success. to learn more about the power of you. See you there.